Hey, Rebel Bankers, welcome back to the Real Estate Money School. I'm your host, Chris Noggle, and today what we're going to talk about is conquering your fear and uncertainty that surrounds money. This is something that you've been living with most of your life. I know I did, and I know just about everybody that I speak to has mentioned this, that there is a serious uncertainty and a serious fear that for some reason surrounds this thing called money. You know, and we're brought up to believe in some cases that money is bad. Money is evil. Well, you know what is evil? You know what's bad? Is not understanding money. Money is nothing more than a tool. So before we dive into this topic of the conquering of the uncertainties and the fears around money, what I want to do is talk about you and your journey to becoming a rebel banker. You hear me say this every single time, but it's so important that you hear this because it's not just about getting knowledge. It's not just about you figuring things out and learning things. It's about you applying things. Nothing will ever change in your life until you take knowledge and apply it, until you actually take that first step to whatever the dreams are that you think about, whatever your perfect day is. That first step is what matters. And that first step might be grabbing a copy of my book, Mapping Out the Millionaire Mystery. Or maybe you're looking for money for your real estate deals. And then this book would be a great one for you, The Private Money Guide. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you get started on that journey to actually taking action. I'm going to give you a copy of each of those books. And if you want one of those books, here's what you're going to do. And I'm talking about free. All you got to do is pay the shipping to get it to your place. Type into your computer, go to a Google browser and type in moneyschool, REI.com/book. That's how simple it is. moneyschoolrei.com/book. Or if you want Mapping Out the Millionaire Mystery, instead of book, just put new book and you will be brought to a link that will give you the book for free. You just put your address in and pay for the shipping. That is taking action. The second thing I want to really dive into is I want to dive into the people that you're surrounding yourself with. This is going to be a huge topic in today's show. We're really going to talk about, conquering this fear and conquering this uncertainty around money, but really it starts first with the people you surround yourself with. Because I can tell you right now, you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. You've heard this too many times. That's cliche, right? But let's think about the feelings about what that actually means. I want you to envision a time when you went to a convention, when you went to an event, when you were in a gathering of around 5, maybe 10 people, and all the people you were surrounded with were people that were successful, people that were positive, people that were doing the things that you want to do. And just think about when you're in that circle and you're talking to everybody and you're talking business, you're talking about your dreams, you're talking about your goals, you're talking about whatever it is you are after, that feeling you have is a feeling of positivity. That feeling you have is a feeling of certainty, a feeling of conquering money. But it really comes down to you inside, you feel like you can actually do it. Because you're in a circle of people, you're surrounding yourself with a circle of people that are doing it. So because you're in that circle, you will do it. But then, so you got that nice, warm, I can do anything kind of feeling, and you're all fired up. Then you come home from that conference, from that event where you're around these people, and you get around your regular circle. Okay, the normal people that you hang out with, the people maybe that you've hung out with your whole life, like me, like my best friend, who are negative, who are always, talking about boo-hoo me, I should have done that, I can't believe this happened. It's all the negativities. And, all of a sudden you're in that circle and around those negative people that you're surrounded with in your life. All of a sudden, where do you go? Where does your mental attitude go? It goes negative. Where does your feeling of accomplishments go? It goes away. Where does that feeling take you? Straight down. The difference between those two feelings, those two examples I just gave you, the feeling of being at that conference around all these positive people that are happy, that are talking about the things they're doing now, the things they're going to be doing in the future, the successes, the wins. Then you get in the regular circles that you're around every day and you're talking about the losses, the things that didn't work, the negativity in the world, the bad politics, all the bad things. And what happens? Everything you forgot about over here in the positive world disappears because you're surrounded with that every day. And I want you to translate that to your life. If you surround yourself around people that are always telling you you can't do something, people always talking about negativity, people talking about being content with where they're at, even though they're not happy with where they're at. And every time you bring that idea, that energy from that positive group over to this negative group, they bash you. They destroy it. Oh, that sounds like a pyramid scheme. Oh, that sounds like, a scam. Oh, that doesn't really work that way. Oh, whatever. I heard this, or I heard Susie Orman say that, or I heard Dave Ramsey say this, right? Tell me that's not true. Tell me that hasn't happened to you in your life, because I'll tell you something, it's happened to me a lot. It's happened to me with family members telling me that when is enough enough? When are you going to be content? When are you just going to live a normal life? Blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't be doing that. That's too risky. What if that didn't work? What if you lost it all? How would that impact you? On and on and on. And then over on this side, when I'm at these events, surrounding myself around the positive people, and just so everybody knows, this is why I have mentors. This is why I pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every month to be around positive, successful people. And I speak to these mentors once a month. That's it. I pay them that much money to speak to them once a month because, we speak, but then they constantly keep reconfirming that positivity to me. Now, you shouldn't have to pay for that, but you know what? If that's what it takes, that's what you do. For me, that's what it takes. I'm trying to get to a certain level, and I got to surround myself around people that are at that level. And eventually in your circles you're in your life, you're only going to come up to a certain level, whatever level that your circles allow you to go to. Sometimes you want to get out of that circle. Maybe that's just not enough for you. Maybe that's not your perfect day. Maybe that's not the life you want to live, and your circles stop right there. To get to that next level, you got to find the higher levels. You got to find the masterminds. You got to find the mentors that are at those levels, because you know what? That's how it's done, folks. That's exactly how you do it. You get yourself in those situations. So now, we just talked about two different groups of people that you surround yourself with, the people that are positive and the people that are negative. And I want you to really take and do an accounting here. Which one of those two groups are you around more? Is it the positive group or is it the negative group? And if you're around one or the other, I want you to think about the things that transpire when you're around those people and what happens in your life. Did you have additional sales? Did you have a win? Did you close that deal? Did you feel like making just that one more call, even when you're exhausted and you're tired and you want to go home and you're just like, I got to make that one more call. I got to go see that one more client. When you're around those positive people, you don't even think, well, maybe I'll just go home. No, you're like, I got to do it because that is what they would do. But when you're in the negative one, you're like, oh, maybe I'll leave work early. The guys are meeting, or the gals are meeting over, for coffee or for cocktails. So like, I got to get out of here. I got to leave. Oh, that call can wait. Oh, my dreams can wait. Oh, my perfect day can wait. Right? Isn't that what happens when you're around that side? Because that is being content. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being content. Listen, I know I'm always talking about money. I'm always talking about chasing your dreams, but there's an element of we sometimes just need to stop and smell the roses, right? So I'm not saying work, hustle, and let life fly by. Absolutely not. I'm simply saying there's a positive mindset, a money mindset, a money consciousness that we need to understand if we're ever going to have those things happen. I'm not saying don't stop and smell the roses. I'm not saying don't go out with your friends. I'm not saying don't, go out and have coffee or cocktails. I'm simply saying you need to prioritize your life and your schedule, and you need to time block your schedule to allow for yourself to stop and smell the roses. Okay, which is me on Wednesdays. In the mornings, I stop and smell the roses. I stay home until 11 o'clock and I read books. I go swimming. I hang out by the pool. There's really nothing else to do. We're in, the COVID lockdown right now. But do you see what I'm saying? So I schedule that time in. And then on Wednesdays, I work late to take care of all the things that I would have normally done in the morning, but now I got to stay a little later to do them. But I already know that I'm staying late. So it's not a surprise. You see, your life is fully in your control. Your success, as much as you don't think it's in your control, it is. It's 100% in your control. And you know what else is in your control? Money. You just are not in control of money. So now let's really dive one layer deeper, because now I'm talking about the mindset. I'm talking about the 5 people you surround yourself with. And now we're going to talk about money consciousness, because this is a big problem. You see, the one thing I like to sit here and say that I do is I solve people's money problem. And folks, just so you know, there is a money problem in this country. There is a huge money problem, and I solve that money problem. And the only way I can solve that money problem is not because of all my knowledge as a financial advisor, not because of all the real estate deals I've done, not because of all the money that I've raised, not because of all the things I've done. It's because I have put myself in those positions to learn how to do it. And I put myself in those positions, most importantly, to learn how to fail. Not intentionally, but I have done things, many things in my life that have created a failing solution. And you heard it, right? A failing solution. That failing solution is back in 14 when I was in that negative mindset. When I blamed everything else. I blamed the economy. I blamed bad business partners. I blamed, business on everything. I blamed everything else. I never blamed this person here, because this is the person that I should have been holding accountable. This is the person that was responsible for those bad things, because I didn't take responsibility. I was in a negative mindset, not a positive mindset. My heart was in the right place. My mind was not. Where is your heart? Where is your mind? Are they aligned? Every single day, you should hold yourself accountable. You should hold your money accountable. Because one of the biggest problems with money and the money problem is that we are not in control of our money. I want you to think about some things, right? Where does this uncertainty and fear around money come from? Not being in control, folks. That's where it comes from. The uncertainty and the fear around money comes solely from the lack of control. When you are not in control of something, you are fearful. You are uncertain. When you are in the backseat of a car with a crazy driver, maybe, you get in a taxi cab in New York City and they're driving like a maniac and you are not in control. Are you somewhat feared, having fear? Do your palms sweat? When you get on that big, scary roller coaster at a theme park and you're going up, you are not in control of that roller coaster. You are just in control of really nothing but the ride, right? So you get to the top, your palms sweat, you're scared. There's a sense of uncertainty. There's a sense of fear. When you're in a plane and you hit really bad turbulence, you are not in control of that plane. The pilot is. The airplane is. You are not. Those are the same types of feelings of uncertainty and fear that you have surrounding money. These problems are real, but these problems are self-made by you. And they're made because you have given up control of your money. So I say this a lot, but many of you are watching this for the first time. Let's talk about, what do I mean? Because some of you are thinking, I'm in control of my money. My money's in my bank. If I want to go take it, I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to go take it out. Good. Go try to do that. Go to your local bank where all your money is, okay? And if you have more than $10,000, try to take it all out in one day. Walk into the bank, tell the teller, I'd like to take all my money out of the bank. And then the teller will have a big smile. And they will look at your account, and if there's enough money in there, they will, all of a sudden, the smile will go to a frown, and they will say, well, sir or ma'am, we can't give you all of the money in your account, but we have a restriction, a daily restriction of X amount. Is that good? And then you look at the teller and you say, well, no, it's my money. I entrusted you with my deposits, and I need all that money today. I don't have time to come back tomorrow. I've got a deal closing tomorrow. I need that money today. And then they tell you, well, that's not possible. And the supervisor comes over in this whole thing. But then all of a sudden, somehow, if you're lucky, you are able to take it all out. And like, but sir or ma'am, we need you to fill out these forms. You have to fill out this W-9. You have to fill out this form. You have to fill out this form. You have to fill out this form. If it's your money, why do you have to fill out forms? If it's your money, why do you need permission to take it out? If it's your money, why are they in control of it? Answer those questions to me. And then I want you to really think about, are you in control of that? Because the answer is you are not in control of your money, not in the bank. Okay. The bank is in full control of your money, which is why when you deposit your money, you take a dollar bill, right? You take a dollar bill from your pocket. Let's just assume this is a dollar bill, and you write your name really big on it. You take your dollar bill and you write your name really big on that dollar bill. trying to mimic this, right? So you write your name really big on that dollar bill, and you take that dollar bill and you give it to the teller. Does the teller take that money and go and put it in your little box in the back with your name on it so that when you come back 30 days later, 60 days later, they just give you your dollar back and you're like, oh, good. Yeah, there's the dollar. Yep, that's the one with my name on it. No. The bank takes your money and immediately moves it. They lend it out to somebody else. So if your money's now in somebody else's possession, how are you in control of it? In that whole thing, how much money is the bank paying you on your money for giving them control of your money? You guys already know the answer to this. Sometimes it's 0%. Sometimes maybe it's 1%, and if you're lucky, it's 2% right now, but that's very rare. So you're making 1 to 2% on your money, okay? And how much money is the bank making? Well, I can tell you. You can go to bauerfinancial.com and you will see that banks make between 400 and 1,300% on the money we leave there. In other words, they make 400 to 1,300% more than you do. Does that sound like you're in control of your money? Let's go round 2. Where else do a lot of people put a lot of money? How about employer-sponsored retirement plans, right? This dream of retirement. And since a young age, if you're anything like me, you know, you've had different people in your life, grandparents, parents, friends, family, coworkers, all saying, hey, you got to put money into the 401k. You know, someday you're going to want to retire and you're going to have to save for yourself. That Social Security thing might not be there for you. So you got to put money in your retirement. And your whole life, you're taught about that. My grandma said, Chris, when you get a job, make sure you ask if they have a retirement plan. And make sure you put money in there as much as you can. And I would ask them if they've got that match thing. That's free money. Now, I'll agree, that is free money. But think about that conditioning. It's what they were taught, and it's what you were taught. But what are you actually doing when you're putting money in your retirement plan? I'm not saying they're bad, right? I'm not trying to totally, disassemble retirement plans. But I'm simply telling you, I want you to think about this. What are your dollars worth today? Are they worth more today than they will be in the future? Are they worth more today than they will be ever? The answer is yes. And if you don't believe me that your dollars are worth the most today, then go back 20 years ago and look at how many candy bars $1 could have bought. The answer is it's more than it could have bought today because your dollars are worth more today than they will be in the future. And the reason for that is a thing called inflation. And our government does a great job of printing money, devaluing your dollar. Most people don't even understand what inflation is. They just think that means that milk goes up, in cost year by year, that gas goes up, that cars go up, that everything goes up. But what you don't realize, the reason the cost of goods are going up is because your dollar is becoming worth less. It's not that it costs more to make these goods. Well, essentially it does because everything goes up with inflation. But you know what inflation really is? It's a hidden tax. It's a way for our government to steal money from you. Always has been, always will be. Look it up. Read The Creature from Jekyll Island. Read that book. You'll learn all about what inflation is and how it impacts us. And it is nothing more than a secret tax. So if your dollars are worth the most today, and opportunities come to you today, because the only thing we can control, if you can't see my watch, it says now, is the now, then when we're putting money in a 401k, aren't we just giving up control of our good dollars today to be paid back someday later, 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 years for you, when you can take the money out, which is 59 and a half. So just do the math. You're how old today? And how long is it to 59 and a half when you can take that money out? So all that time that money's in there, we then get to take it back at 59 and a half. And it is weaker dollars then because that money over time has become worth less and less. But then you're thinking to yourself, yeah, but Chris, I'm going to invest it in the market and the market's going to go up and I'm going to have more. Certainly in a long period of time, you will. But as that money goes up, who has been in control of that money? It's not you. You think you are because you get a statement every month and you can log into your account and see it. But if you were truly in control, couldn't you just take that money back? Can you take that money back? When some of you are thinking, oh, well, yeah, Chris, I can take my money out of my 401k. But, yeah, because that's what you're thinking. But if I take it out pre-59 and a half, I have to pay taxes. Okay. If I take it out, well, if you take it out anytime, if it's a traditional 401k, you got to pay taxes on the whole thing. So remember, but then you're like, yeah, but I got a tax deduction for putting it in today. I put my money in today and I didn't have to pay tax on that today. So I got a deduction for that today. Right. You got a deduction today. Are you going to make more money in the future or less? I hope you said more. And if you make more money in the future, what else happens? Don't taxes go up? They certainly do. Taxes almost always go up, or they just find more things to tax you on. So if you're putting your good dollars away in hopes of getting it back someday later, but when that someday later is, you're getting paid back with weaker dollars, okay? You are getting paid back with taxed dollars. All of it's taxed. You're paying tax on the harvest, not the seed. I want you to think about that. If you paid tax on the money today and you put it in there, that would be paying tax on the seed, which most of you would say you'd rather pay tax on the seed than the harvest, but you do the complete opposite. You actually get the deduction on the seed and you pay tax on the entire harvest. So you take the money back later, 59 and a half or later, and you pay tax on all of it. And then what else happened that entire time that money sat there? The financial institutions did what? They charged you fees for the mutual funds. They charged you fees for the ETFs. They charged you account fees. They charged you brokerage fees. They charged you wrap fees if it's an annuity-based product. They charged you. They made money on your money. That's exactly what they did, because you gladly gave up control of your money. And you did that willingly, not thinking about the consequences. You literally do things with your money that you would never, ever do with things that money buys. Would you ever buy a loaf of bread, put it in your freezer, and wait 5, 10, or 15 years to eat that loaf of bread? No, after that much time, it would be freezer burned and you wouldn't eat it. Would you ever buy a car and wait 5, 10, or 15 years to drive the car? Would you ever buy your dream house for you and your significant other or your spouse and wait 5, 10, or 15 years to move in? Absolutely not. But yet that's exactly what you do with your money. You literally do that with your money because you have been taught to give up control of your money. We could go, over and over and over. How about houses? We go and we buy houses. They increase in value over time. And what do we do with that equity that's sitting there? Most of us just leave it. Which, in other words, what you're doing is you're leaving your money on your couch, watching your TV, eating your potato chips, and drinking your soda. I want you to visualize your money sitting on your couch, drinking your soda, eating your potato chips, and watching TV all day, every day while you're off working. Because you know what? That's exactly what you're doing. Exactly what you're doing. You have only been taught to work hard. And you've been taught to hustle and work hard and make money. And then what do you do with your money? You just give up control of it. You just give it away. You give up control. And that's why 90 cents of every single dollar we make as Americans goes to somebody else. We only try to keep 10%, and most of us fail at that because the savings rate in this country before COVID was only 6%. So if we give up 90% of every dollar we make, and we're only saving 6% of every dollar we make, where does the rest of it go? The answer is somebody else. In other words, you are giving up control of your money. And this is exactly where this uncertainty and this fear around money comes from. And it's very simple to understand. That uncertainty and that fear is only because you have been conditioned and taught your entire life to give up control. And then if that's the case, take yourself back and think of all the situations you've been in, real life situations, where you've been not in control. In the backseat of an Uber, in the backseat of a taxi, on a roller coaster ride, on a plane in heavy turbulence, on, in a boat with somebody else driving, in bad situations that somebody else was in control of the situation. You see what I'm saying? When our government makes decisions that we are not in control of, all these different things are things that we are not in control of. And all these different things give us fear and uncertainty. So there is absolutely no secret to why there is fear and uncertainty around money. And the answer to that is you don't know how to make your money work for you. And you don't know how to take back control. And folks, it's so easy. Taking back control of your money involves you changing just one thing. And this is what I teach. I teach you how to change that one thing. In today's podcast, I am not here to teach you what that one thing is. I will tell you it is very easy. I will give you a link. You can just go to my website, chrisnaugle.com, okay? N-A-U-G-L-E. Go to my website. On my main homepage, there is a tab that says resources. Click on resources and go in and just watch some of the videos. Watch the money multiplier videos. Watch the different preview videos that I have in there, because all my videos, and they're all free, they are all designed to teach you how to take back control of your money. But not just take back control, because now let's just say you did change that one thing, and that one thing that you'd have to change is where that money goes first, okay? That's the one thing you got to change. You want to change the entire dynamic of your money situation, it involves changing one thing. and you just change where that money goes first. And that will put you back in control of your money. But then the second component to that is the trickier part. Now we need to know and we need to learn how to make our money work for us, because we cannot leave our money sit lazy. The banks don't do that. Matter of fact, folks, what business in the world uses compound interest? What business actually uses compound interest? Now, let me define compound interest. In order to get compound interest under the most situations, you have to park your money somewhere, put it somewhere, and just leave it sit. So what business actually parks their money and just lets it sit? None. Some of you are thinking, oh, banks. Some of you are thinking Wall Street. No. The true answer is there is not a business in the world that does what we do, and that is parking money and leaving it sit. Businesses do not participate in compound interest. Businesses pay compound interest, or businesses earn compound or charge compound interest. So they either charge compound interest, they either pay compound interest like banks. They don't use compound interest because businesses have to move money. Banks, what do? They move money. They take your deposit and they move it. They loan it out. They loan it for mortgages, for car loans. They loan it for home remodel loans. They loan it for debt consolidation loans. You get the point. You give them your money and they move that money. And in those movements, they make 400 to 1,300% on your money. What other businesses move money? How about grocery stores? Do grocery stores just park their money and put all the groceries on the shelf and then put big plexiglass windows over them and you just get to go and look at that food? No. They move the food. They buy the inventory. You go in and you buy it, and they're constantly turning over that inventory. That is moving money because the inventory is money. Car dealerships, do they just buy cars and put them on their lot and just let those cars sit there until they get old and rusted? No, they move them. And when they start getting older, they discount them. They do promotions on them. They move cars. Folks, every business in the world, every single business in the world moves money except for us. Because we haven't been taught how to do that. We haven't been taught to change that one thing. And then once that one thing is changed, that one thing is where the money goes first. And then the second thing is we have to learn to move that money. And it is a bit trickier because you've just not been taught how to do it. It's very simple. It involves you changing your entire perception of what money has been to you and what money was. But you already think, because you've been taught at a young age, that money's evil, money is bad. And you've been taught that because you gave up control of your money. And you've been taught that because you have been conditioned to think that wealthy people are bad because they have money, because they learned this one thing that you could very easily learn and apply. Money is an evil, folks. Not having knowledge about money, that's the evil part. That's the bad part. The one thing that money truly is, and this is what you need to understand, it is nothing more than a tool. Money is a tool that allows you to get the things that you want. Money is the tool that allows you to help the people that you want. Money is the tool that allows you to live your perfect day. But some people, those negative people in those negative circles that you're living around, that you're surrounding yourself around, they want you to believe that money's evil. Oh, money's be evil. Be content. Just go get a job and just work your job. Listen to me. And I don't mean to be rude about this. I don't mean you to think that I'm self-absorbed or egotistical or whatever, but I don't know any poor people putting wings on churches. I don't know any poor people that go in that negative mindset, that believe that being content's okay, that believe that, having nothing and just getting by is okay. I don't know any of them donating money to churches, to charities, to, pet sanctuaries, donating money to help, make this a better world, for anything you get behind that's a positive cause, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's the ice caps melting, whether it's polar bears or lions or tigers or apes or, elephants or rhinos that are being extinct and being, or the oceans, that are being polluted or anything. What poor person is solving those problems? Look, I'm not trying to bring negativity around poor people. I'm simply saying that's a choice in most cases. Bill Gates says, if you're born poor, that's not your fault. But if you die poor, damn it, that is your fault. So when somebody comes to me and is boo-hoo, I don't have any money, I don't have this, things just don't work, that's your fault. You choose to live in that position. Oh, no, it's not my fault. This happened and this person and that person. You allowed it. And even if you didn't allow it, you allow yourself to live in that negative mindset. You're not doing anything to better yourself because you could absolutely do something to better yourself. You could absolutely do something to get into a better headspace, and you could absolutely turn your life around. And if you don't believe me, look at all the people who have. Look at people like Oprah. I mean, I could go on for days, all the people who were born poor, were born with nothing. I know these people personally, and they turn their lives around, and now they're influencers. Now they're people that are changing other people's lives. They're giving countless dollars to charities, to better people, to better things. If you are not in control of your money, if you are not in control of your money mindset, and if you are not money conscious, you cannot help other people because you can't help yourself. So the uncertainty and fear around money simply is a condition that you have allowed yourself to be in. And it's time to change that condition. It starts with changing the people that you surround yourself with. Okay. Another thing you got to change is your mindset. You got to get in a positive mindset. You got to start believing and understanding that things are real and true and can happen. Okay. And how you do that is you simply dream it, you believe it, and then you can achieve it. Napoleon Hill. Read the book, Think and Grow Rich. You want things to change in your life. You are in control, but you need to take back the control. It's the only way it happens. Otherwise, welcome to the rest of your life, because that will be what you're going to be in. You're going to live this way for the rest of your life if you don't change these things. And it starts with that one thing with your money. So folks, I hope this helped a little bit with you, debunking the myths around controlling money. I hope this helps you understand that there is a problem with your money, and that problem is that you're giving up control of it. And it is very easy to conquer these uncertainties and these fears. So go out there, change the people you're surrounding yourself with. Get around the people that you want to surround yourself with, that are doing the things you want. Change where your money goes first. Go to my website, chrisnoggle.com. Go to the resources tab and watch the videos that teach you how to change that one thing and how to then make your money work for you instead of you working for it. And lastly, stop blaming people. Stop blaming things. Stop blaming everything else for the situation you're in. The situation you're in, you can change it, and only you can change it. No one else is going to come and rescue you. Robin Hood's not coming. All the superheroes we see, they're not coming. They're not. You have to change yourself, and it starts right now. So folks, on your journey to becoming a rebel banker, you got to take action. Grab a copy of one of my books. I gave them to you for free. moneyschoolrei.com/book for this one. rei.com/book. moneyschoolrei.com/new book for mapping out the millionaire mystery. These books will be your first steps. And also read Think or Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode all around how to conquer uncertainty and fear around money. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Real Estate Money School.